and you are. We are Citizen Outbreak. Welcome to the podcast.
And welcome back to another episode of Citizen Outbreak. How are you doing today, Matthew?
Fantastic. How you doing?
I'm a little tired. Rough week. You know, these gloomy
It's only
days.
Wednesday.
Yeah, but it's these gloomy New York cold nights that, they get me. I'm not really a fan of the cold nights. Let's jump into it because something was just going on right before we decided to tape, and that is this airspace over Iran has shut down.
Oh, yeah?
Iran airspace has been shut down, Matthew. There's a lot of debate going on about, we talked about the, people protesting in Iran, but now everyone online, they're, commenting when or if President Donald Trump and the United States is going to hit or enter Iran.
Yeah.
6 United States Air Force Stratotanker aircraft have just departed from Al Udeida Air Base in Qatar. That was earlier.
Yeah,
Also,
I saw that.
the Pentagon ordered the USS Abraham Lincoln carrier strike group to leave the South China Sea and head towards the Middle East.
And I thought I saw that. Didn't they issue some kind of warning against Trump himself? They said they're not going to miss or something like that.
Iranian state TV broadcast a photo of President Donald Trump accompanied by a Persian caption reading, "This time it won't miss. Message received." So, Matthew,
Mm-hmm.
I think the question what we're going to roll into is what do you think the chances of us A, hitting Iran this week, 2, do we even hit Iran, 3, are we just going to wait it out and see how long these people protest?
I think, the strategy is usually see what they can accomplish on their own. These uprisings there have happened kind of, pretty frequently across the past years. What you have going on now, though, is, with the progress, I guess, that's been made with what's happened with Israel and between Israel and Hamas, with the ceasefire, with Saudi Arabia, with Syria, you do have kind of momentum towards a realignment there. So all those players would be very happy to see Iran gone, and the Mullahs, in terms of shifting around the power dynamics there. So I think, plus Trump's midterms are coming up, so if things keep trending, I guess the way they're trying to, the narrative is arcing, could be looking at 2 years of impeachments on Trump instead of, to slow him down on everything he's been doing, which maybe presses a little more urgency here. But I think, I think Trump, we would rather see what can be accomplished there first without us getting involved. Or I think there was also talk about Syria doing something.
Yeah, that's the rumble. So okay, you got the people, you got a lot of conspiracies going on, a lot of people. Everyone is an expert in Iran, by the way. Everyone is an expert in Middle East. Everybody is an expert of coups. You hear a lot of things. So, real quick, military jets were just reported heard over Kurmatu, Iraq, close to Iranian border. That could be nothing. But anyway, back to this. You hear people talking about Israel getting involved, right? Israel is going to send in fighter jets, which they did previously. You hear rumors that the U.S. is going to get involved. And then you hear rumors that Syria is going to be doing the deed. I personally think if anybody's going to be getting involved or going into Iran, I have a feeling it'll be Syria.
Those you got Saudi, you got Syria, you got Israel, you got the U.S. That's kind of that's the where the power is shifting away from Iran. I don't know. I don't know. except that it looks to be a real. There's real momentum. Trump's paying attention. I saw Yahoo made statements. So I mean, if the reports are true, they're killing thousands of protesters. I think it's interesting. It lines up against what's going on in the U.S. and our kind of issue of the day. I think it lines up pretty funny. Like I guess Hollywood is aligned with the Mullahs right now. So it's funny. Like I don't know where sentiment falls right now in the U.S. Like I know, like in terms of Trump having, what we did in Venezuela, the everybody freaked out about it. We haven't heard about that in a little while. Like I said, the domestic political scene. It's funny. I don't know where people fall on the Iran thing right now.
We're not hearing anything about it. Anybody speaking about Iran from those people that you just mentioned, the Hollywood elites.
Yeah, I mean, it's problematic, right? Like, because those are the good guys, I think. And I don't know, but, so politically, but you don't hear it also, like, there's not a very clear argument over it, right? Like, Trump's talking about something, and the normal people aren't standing up saying, he better not go and do that. So I don't think domestically, politically, it hasn't really been clearly defined, which might help if Trump wants to, if the feeling is that we do want to just maybe once and for all get rid of these guys, maybe that helps. Normally there's like before Venezuela, there was like an actual running debate going on the about that issue. Right now, there's not about Iran. You kind of don't really see anything. Mark Ruffalo's talking about Minnesota. So yeah, I some of the stuff looks terrible, and
but that's the other thing is, so we don't really know the images that are coming out because they don't have. We discussed it last time that Elon Musk put Starlink in there, but then that was a rumor that he didn't really put Starlink in there.
Oh, really? I didn't know. I thought he did.
So did I, but apparently he didn't yet, or maybe somebody smuggled one in, not him directly.
Okay.
Now, supposedly, he's getting the Starlink in there, but the Iranian regime is finding who's got the Starlink and shutting it down. But a lot of the information we're not going to know because they are shutting off the internet. They're shutting off any kind of communication out of Iran. So we might not know anything until after it happens.
What's interesting about Iran? It's like, it was taken over. They took it over by military coup, and it's been held. The first Khomeini, the second Khomeini, a lot of most places where the military coups happen, it's fragile. Like, they don't hold power for so long. And these guys have managed to hold power. I don't know domestically, like, what the scene is. You got the Pahlavis coming back. It's interesting. I mean, it would be great for them to get rid of these people.
That's Reza Pahlavi, right?
Well, yeah, the prince, his his son is back on the scene now. It would be a great thing to get rid of these mullahs. They stop funding Hamas. You get somebody friendly there, on the oil side. There's a lot of positives that could come out of getting rid of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, originally when they did get rid of the Shah, and then that was a whole mess. I mean, we don't really have time to go over a history lesson here about getting rid of the Shah and putting in the Ayatollah.
Jimmy Carter
just fucks everything up.
Well, that's what he put the mullahs in.
I mean, he put the mullahs in. He gave away Panama, Greenland. Like he's got to be like the worst of the worst presidents.
We've had a lot of bad presidents, but
he's got to be like the worst of the worst.
He's definitely up there.
He's a nice guy. Like he'll smile,
he's
but
dead.
He's dead. I mean, I don't want to talk badly about somebody that's dead, but
he was a terrible president. He was a depressing. I mean, I don't know. I was. You know that movie Miracle, which I love. Kurt Russell.
Right. But that
Okay, the scene where he's talking about, I mean, what a depressing guy. And then you get then you get move into Reagan. It's like, Jesus. These people, it's funny. I had a friend visiting from Italy this week, and he was talking, and it was us, and we had another friend that's actually works at the UN, and we're sitting at breakfast, and the guy from Italy's like, Trump just transmits such a positive energy. And he's not, so fine tooth cool, and by the way, he's in textiles, his business, but the tariffs have hurt him.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, from an energy standpoint, he's like, Trump really transmits. He was saying, he's like, I really think that there's such a different perception. He's like, however you think about stuff, just the optics, the energy that comes off him is positive. And he was like, he's like, everything is about solutions. He's like, and you turn these other guys on and you just hear about how shit everything is. And he's like, it's just depressing. And it's, so like Jimmy Carter, I think about that scene in Miracle where it's like, people don't have confidence, the American dream, I mean, it was a depressing moment in American history. And then, so yeah, look, Iran is up again. I mean, these things pop up all the time. Hopefully they can push through.
Hopefully they push through. We are standing with the Iranian people. We have many, many, many Persian friends, and I know that they'd like to see this regime fall and maybe potentially one day go back. I spoke to a buddy of mine. His father is turning 92 years old, and his dream is that before he dies, he could go back to Iran and visit.
Yeah, I mean, I've got close friends that they had to leave, like get out of town and leave everything behind.
Yeah, everybody left, and they left everything by. Very wealthy people, very wealthy country, and hopefully the same thing doesn't happen here, Matthew. Let's go on to our next topic. Speaking of lost communication, Verizon went out today.
I'm not on Verizon, thankfully.
I'm not on Verizon either, but and I had this debate today in my office because apparently people just like to debate, and as soon as you say one fact, you're all of a sudden no, you're wrong, and you're wrong. And where did you hear this from? Fox News? You're a Trumper,
So what was the
Okay, so Verizon wireless outage confirmed. Some AT&T and T-Mobile users also reporting issues, and I heard that other carriers too were experiencing issues. So it wasn't just Verizon, although Verizon was the longest one.
T-Mobile.
There were other carriers that were affected by this. Now, the conspiracist theories would say that we were hit with a cyber attack. Could be Iran, could be China, could be Russia. First thing that when Verizon went out, I had a buddy of mine send, "This is how wars start." He wrote, "This is how wars start."
Cyber attack.
January 14th, 2026, Verizon experienced a massive nationwide outage with over 90,000 users reports submitted to monitored site. Outage status. Reports problems spiked significantly on Wednesday morning. Many users unable to make call access data SOS mode appeared on iPhones, Androids. No service.
You remember when? Yeah.
It was not just Verizon.
So what do you think?
What do I think?
What was the debate?
Well, nobody's saying what it was, and Verizon hasn't come out and says what it is. I personally think it might have been a cyber attack. We're very vulnerable. I mean, think about it. China's got their claws in all our back.
Remember when Trump, when they were talking about Russia hacking everything, the democracy, and Trump's line used to be, "It could be some fat kids in his parents' basement." Remember when he used to say that all the time?
I mean, back a couple of years ago, they did find a
By
fat.
the way, no, but I'm just saying. I just shelf this for 1 second. I would love to revisit him giving the finger to the guy in the factory. I just realized. I thought that I loved that.
I thought that was great. He just gave the finger.
He said, "Fuck you."
Fuck you. Yeah. I mean, listen, he's not the only president that has said that before.
Joe Biden said that.
Yeah, Joe Biden used to go around throwing F-bombs all the time.
I love it. To the data, to the phone thing. I don't know. I was happy I didn't lose service.
I would have been happy to lose service today. People were really bothering me today, so I would have loved to lose service Sometimes I just want to take my phone and just throw it, chuck it.
I don't know. Every time
The worst invention ever made was the iPhone.
Oh,
or
we
the
peaked. We
smartphone.
peaked in 1998, buddy.
I think it's terrible. You can reach somebody no matter what, and there's a problem. Like if they're not texting you back, calling you back, or emailing you back, or sending you a DM,
Yeah.
then they're avoiding you because this day and age, you are accessible. And when Verizon went down, people were bugging out. My phone doesn't work. What am I going to do?
It's a terrible feeling when your phone doesn't work.
Yeah, like the people that lose their phones or they misplace their phones and they have they don't know what to do. Like, my God, I left my phone in the car. What am I going to do? Okay, you understand you left the phone, but it's not like you left it in somebody else's car. You left it in your car. You know where it is. You didn't lose it.
I never leave. I have lost a phone technically once, left it behind in a taxi. And before I found it. I got the guy because I did Google Maps, found out that he was at a pawn shop in Long Island City. Called the pawn shop, said, I got eyes on the place. Cops are come, put them on the phone. Had the guy come.
So he was trying to sell your phone.
I will, look, I had gone. This is like almost 20 years ago or something. 18 years ago, I was heading to I had gone out the night before. I was going to the office. I didn't have my phone. And it was like just when iPhones, like I think it might have been my first iPhone, but somebody told me about like do the Find My, you know?
Yeah.
So I did the Find My, and the person, it like hadn't turned off the phone yet, so it blinked, and I had a last location. So then he turned it off. I Google mapped it, went to Street View, got the phone number of the pawn shop off of Google Street View, called up and asked them, and he's like, the guy's in the store right now. So I said, put him on the phone. And I spoke to the guy, and he met me, and I got my phone.
No, that's good.
But I don't lose but I'm talking about when your phone doesn't work. Like if you travel, sometimes you land and it can't hook on, like there's something.
That happens in Europe all the time.
Yeah, that's a terrible feeling.
It doesn't switch over from the carrier.
It's like, and then you'll like do the whole thing. You'll turn. It's I've had
it happened to me in Arizona when I was just traveling. For some reason, like I could get text messages, but I couldn't make phone calls. It was the oddest thing.
Right.
It happened twice in Arizona.
What about this? Do you remember? This hasn't happened to me in a long time, actually. The loop, when it would just turn, like you get the apple for a minute and then it goes off, and that's all you get.
Never happened to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's like a thing. And that's happened to me flying domestically, and it's like a weird thing that locks in. And before AI, before ChatGPT, you'd have to go on YouTube and be like, what do you do? And it's like, the top left, top on the volume, top, left, down, up. There's like a sequence to hit. Problem, all these how-to videos, they're so long because they're trying to get views. It always starts with, hi, everybody. Today I'm going to show. You can't just, then you get, and YouTube's got a shitty, like, fast forward. So you're trying to, it's very frustrating feeling so I feel bad for all those people. I don't know if it's a cyber attack, but I think, what I think about every time, and we don't have to go down this rabbit hole, but every time there's a phone drop, and this happens.
Polygon.
I think about the moon landing. Every time I go on FDR and my service drops between 64th and 58th, I think about them calling up Nixon saying, hi, Mr. President, we're on the moon. So every time they hear about or I think they're running, Pakistan, like they run brownouts. You hear about that stuff. So look, I've got my go bag. I've got my stuff ready.
But do you have a boat? Do you have a little boat?
I do.
A canoe. You have a canoe.
Well, I told you about this. I got the boat, but the problem is I don't have it's a very heavy, it's a very heavy box. And so it's outside of my door. Like theoretically, the go bag, the plan is to get to your place by going all the way west and rowing across in this boat that I have. But this boat's going to take me a minute. I should put it in the trunk of my car, I guess.
Yeah, or maybe, yeah, okay. Or you could get a scooter and put it on the scooter.
Using a scooter. But it's a heavy boat. I mean, the one I got's pretty heavy.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's tough.
Yeah, okay.
I've got the walkie-talkies.
You got the walkie-talkies, you got the pills, you got everything. All right, Matthew, every time I see this guy, I can't stop laughing. I don't know how people voted for him. I don't know how he got elected. I mean, I kind of figure,
Chris Kattan.
yeah, representative, and I know why, because he's from Michigan. Michigan's fucked up.
Trust me, I know Michigan's fucked up.
Shri Thandor, Matthew, Shri Thandor. Can I play you a little bit from Mr. Shri Thandor?
Beyond reform. ICE is totally out of control. And this week, I intend to introduce a bill to abolish ICE. We need to make ICE go away. ICE is
ice, baby. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. Now stop. I mean, this guy, first of all, he looks like a tan Chris Kattan. And if you don't know who Chris
His
Kattan
eyebrows
is,
look fake.
he used to be on SNL, Saturday Night Live. He was in that movie Night at the Roxbury.
By the way, the one with the Eddie Griffin's a great movie, Undercover Brother.
Undercover Brother. He's been a lot of. I wonder what happened to him. He was great. He was very funny, Chris Kattan. Anyway, so Shri of Michigan wants to abolish ICE, and there's another. I don't know if it's him or somebody else. There's articles of impeachment in to impeach Kristi Noem because she's involved in ICE.
Oh, Department of Homeland Security.
Of course. So I have a not only a theory, but I have like thoughts about this, Matthew. So they have their new George Floyd moment with this Renee Good getting shot. And what was the reason ICE was up there in the first place? What was ICE doing in Minnesota?
Well, there's a huge cluster of illegal immigrants there.
But what were the illegal immigrants from Somalia doing?
Well, there's a long-running con going on with the daycare stuff, the autism centers, all this stuff.
Would you call it fraud?
That's what's going on there. I mean,
Right, so there's billions of dollars of fraud going on, right?
Right.
And the government sent ICE up there because a lot of these fraudsters are illegal Somalians taking taxpayers' money. Obviously, there's some other casualties, maybe somebody not from Somalia that's getting arrested, but they're also illegal. But the majority of the ICE that are there for one purpose and one purpose only, and that's to go after the illegals. And then we also have investigation into the fraud. Now you have this Renee Good. Unfortunate that she was shot and killed, but these disruptors were, in ICE's face doing stuff, and they're still doing it up to today. But this is all a distraction, and they're ICE, but nobody's talking about the fraud. No one's talking about the billions of dollars of fraud. If you didn't have billions of dollars of fraud and illegals in this country, you wouldn't need ICE. So you know what? I'm all for abolishing ICE after they get all the illegals out of here and they put away all the people that were committing fraud in Minnesota and LA and New York, because the crime is rampant, the fraud is rampant, they're taking taxpayers' money. So if you want to get rid of ICE and you want to get rid of Kristi Noem, start by getting rid of your fraud that you're committing. And it's very rich that the Democrats are doing this.
Well, the Democrats don't define their position on illegal immigration, right?
Not one person and the Democrats have come out and said fraud. Oh, there was no fraud.
Well, forget about the fraud for a second, because ICE is there to get illegal immigrants. So you have illegal aliens in the country. ICE is there to get them. We have immigration laws. These aren't Nazi laws. These aren't fascist laws. These are laws that Barack Obama, Chuck Schumer, Bill Clinton, George Bush, everybody, since we have immigration laws. And we have a lot of illegal immigrants here in the U.S., and we have a federal law enforcement body that goes out to get them. They started conflating illegal and legal. In the word jargon, they moved to migrant, right? When we were younger, even as young as Barack Obama, 11, it was illegal aliens. That term moved over to undocumented, and then they just started calling everybody migrants so that they could just call you a racist if you had any thoughts about anything. They moved from that. The thing with Renee Good The thing about the analysis is everybody's talking about, was there excessive force? Did he need to shoot her? That's intentional, because the conversation should really start, what the hell is she doing driving her car into the middle of an active crime scene to antagonize armed officers in the, I mean, it's crazy. That shouldn't be happening. And the reason why it's happening, like you said, to distract, our politicians and their media are sending people to go attack I mean, this is a coordinated campaign. It's insane. Like, it's really insane. So it's like, and if you think about the irony, they impeached Trump the second time because they claimed that his words incited, that insurrection. I mean, right now, you literally have every politician on the left saying that people should rise up, and they should go, and the cop should have known to get out of the way of the car. I mean, it's crazy.
I mean, if you see a car coming at you, you typically get out of the way. But when you're too close to the car and it's coming at you, you don't have a time to get out of the way.
In Minnesota law, a car driving at you is considered a lethal weapon coming at you.
Yes, and Tim Walz put that into law.
Look, it's pretty common sense, man. A car coming at me is coming to hurt me, and it's what's she doing there? And the sad thing is, she's there because the Democratic Party mobilized her to go there. If she didn't, I mean, it's an insane moving of the goalposts, where they can't even talk about that part of the argument because they can't define their position on illegal immigrants. When you put it to them straight, they're like, "Well, I'm not for open borders," but they don't define their position because the ambiguity helps them. You're just evil. If you're just a Nazi, if you or a racist, and it's like it's ridiculous, like it's literally insane that you get these people out, these politicians and the media talking about people should go rise up. Did you see the mayor of Minnesota? They asked him. They said, people are throwing shit at law enforcement, and he said they're supporting their neighbors.
Jacob Fry,
yeah, that guy.
I got breaking news for you, Matthew.
Hopefully he has Verizon.
I hope he has Verizon. Breaking news. A federal judge has just blocked the Trump administration from withholding SNAP food stamp payments to Minnesota despite the rampant fraud. Absolutely insanity. A judge is now forcing U.S. taxpayers to subsidize fraud. Time and time again, like I wake up in the morning and I read these stories and I'm just like, am I living in the Twilight Zone? Like, I've been told you do as what a cop says. You don't talk back to a police officer. You don't try to hit a police officer. You don't commit fraud. If you want to get into this country, there's a way to do it legally. And for some reason, I see good people getting bad stuff done to them, and I have bad people getting away with $1 billion of fraud. And again, I feel like I'm living in the Twilight Zone. And then you have these celebrities, and we had the Golden Globes. Now I don't watch the Golden Globes anymore because it's always political. It used to be fun to watch Golden Globes and Oscars and all these,
I don't know any movies I don't even know one movie that came out this year.
Well, I don't either, but I still would have watched.
And I'm a movie guy.
I like to watch what the celebrities are, wearing, how they're acting. But now every speech that somebody makes is political. And these people are wearing these, be good pins.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is they weren't wearing them on the red carpet. They wore them when they were sitting down. So that means when they were on the red carpet, they didn't have them on because they didn't want to piss off somebody like the designer that they were wearing their suit or dress. They didn't want to disrupt the way they looked on the red carpet when they're getting pictures taken. But as soon as they came in, they were political. They don't talk about who this Renee Good is. She's good. She's good. They didn't talk about how she's allegedly left her kids. Where were her kids? She didn't have a job. Like, what's the story? Like, this is the person you support. Another, just like the supported your friend.
Who's my friend?
Your friend up in Minnesota. George Floyd.
Yeah. Another one.
The guy beat his girlfriend, and yet these celebrities, they thought he was the next
Martin Luther. Well, no. What do you mean? What do you mean? Joe Biden, when he was running, said that George Floyd was a bigger icon than Martin Luther King.
Yeah. I don't know if he meant by size. I mean, that's a slap in the face to Martin Luther King.
Come on, it's gotten so ridiculous. All of these people are. Have you seen like this Ruffalo guy? Have you seen this guy? They said, "How you doing tonight? You enjoy yourself?" I'm not good tonight. I'm not good. We've got these people are so stupid.
And by the way, he's not a good actor. Well, I don't know why he keeps getting in these parts.
The thing is, like,
and he aged terribly, by the way. Have you seen him? He looks disheveled.
He looks like 3 pounds of shit in a 2-pound bag. Okay.
What about Dave Matthews?
That's the one.
Dave Matthews walking around.
Look,
did I send that to you?
Yeah.
Hold on a minute. Hold on.
I don't want my taxes to pay for ICE, masked thugs to roam our streets and terrorize our communities and rip families apart. We should be taking care of each other. We should be minding each other. We should be housing the homeless. We shouldn't be.
How do we house the homeless? We're housing all the illegals.
Which brings me to Renee Nicole Good, murdered in front of her fellow citizens in Minneapolis, murdered in the streets. And no matter what narrative this administration is trying to sell us, we can see the videos. Maybe if they show you one and they slow it down and they tell you where to look, you might think maybe there's a chance that the gunman felt threatened. But for most...
Is he housing any homeless people?
He's a moron.
Is he inviting any illegals to live with him?
Maybe.
Is he doing anything to benefit humanity?
It's like I said, to me, these people can be taken anywhere. And I think the funny moment is like this, what the Iran thing.
Angles near and far looks like.
No, it's fun. Like, what does Ruffalo say about Iran? I don't know.
Zero. Not one of these people came out and said anything about Iran. Not one of these people came out and said anything about anything besides Renee Good getting murdered.
Right, but
that's not murder. That's not the definition of murder. What happened to her?
Well, you see, for Matthews, they have to avoid and he probably isn't aware of it, a guy like Matthews, what I said, which is what happened was she went in to obstruct active law enforcement and antagonized armed officers with her SUV. That, that's not like 5 years ago, or rather 8 years ago. There wouldn't be a narrative here for Matthews to jump on, because it's so beyond the pale. And the funny thing is, they continue to tell people that they need to rise up, and they're actively calling for people to attack them. It's really nuts.
It's nuts. And by the way, I think Mark Ruffalo is going to have a legal issue. Let me play something.
Is it Mark Ruffalo or Mark Ruffalo?
Mark Ruffalo.
Okay. I like
I'm
Ruffalo.
Play something for you. Tell me what you think. Your legal analysis, even though you're not a lawyer. Maybe you play one on TV. Hold on. Let's play it. Why am I not getting any sound?
For Renee Nicole Good, who was murdered. We have a vice president who's lying about what's happening. We have we're in the middle of a war with Venezuela that we illegally invaded. He's telling the world that international law doesn't matter to him. The only thing that matters to him is his own morality. But the guy is a convicted felon or convicted rapist. He's a pedophile. He's the worst human being. If we're relying on this guy's morality for the most powerful country in the world, then we're all in a lot of trouble. This is for her. This is for the people in the United States who are terrorized and scared today. I know I'm one of them. I love this country. What I'm seeing here happening is not America.
First of all, he does not love this country. In that one little video, Matthew, he lied several times. We're not at war with Venezuela. Donald Trump is not a pedophile.
I mean, there's a name for Rudy. It's called TDS.
My question is, what's going to happen to these actors and musicians when Donald Trump is not the president? And J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio are the president. Are they going to have...
It's a wild reality to think about, right? Trump has Trump has controlled the oxygen flow on this planet for the last 10 years, right? And if things, hopefully, the aliens don't, hopefully 2020 next. So if we continue on here, assuming he leaves, he's still a kingmaker, still, even, he leaves, he's still, and he's in good health, God willing, then he's still got his spot, and his opinion matters, what he says matters. I mean, as long as he's opining on public policy, anything going on in the world, it's the most important reference point, whether he's in the Oval Office or not, on the trajectory we're on right now. And by the way, the Democrats, again, continuing on this trajectory, they'll be running on holding him accountable, because he's useful for Mark Ruffalo. And the Democrats, they have one constituency left, and it's the Renee Goods, and it's the people that they can get into cars to go and attack law enforcement. Okay, that literally is the constituency of the left. I don't know, I don't associate, and I don't bring it up. I live in New York. I'm not looking to get into a fight every time I go out at the dinner table. And most of these people get very emotional. But, I really don't know anybody. Now, look, they obviously don't see the world the way you and I do, right? Because if they did, they wouldn't. They believe that they're, like, Mark Ruffalo probably does love his version of America. But to me, it's just, there's so much intellectual dishonesty coming out of these people. All those ads that they did. Remember they do these black and white ads? Martin Sheen's in them, De Niro, Ruffalo. And they all look very seriously into the camera, when they're doing these ads whenever it's campaign season. Mm-hmm. These people suck. They just suck. They're and it's a shame, because I love movies, and it's like De Niro. I can't watch him in a movie. He's pierced through. There's a few. Springsteen, who I really enjoyed a lot of his music. I can't listen to his music anymore, because he's too ridiculous. It's like I'm leaving anybody, but I'm leaving the U.S. What are you leaving the U.S. for? It's a shame. Like the Golden Globes. I don't know one movie that came out. I mean, who's the cool movie star right now? DiCaprio?
It's DiCaprio. He's got to be DiCaprio.
Yes, I heard his movie sucked. The latest movie with Sean Penn, who's a total weirdo.
Another weirdo. So he's smoking cigarettes.
He's smoking cigarettes at the table.
Total low class. Total low class, smoking cigarettes. First of all, in California, you're not allowed to smoke cigarettes indoors. I don't even think you're allowed to smoke cigarettes outdoors in California anymore.
But the funny thing is, I'm all look, Jack, I'm okay. Be a bad boy, that's okay. But I don't really jive that. He's just such an he's a selfish prick. He gets to smoke cigarettes there. I thought he's this cool guy that's no, but I'm going to smoke my cigarettes here while all you people, don't want me to smoke cigarettes.
Exactly. You breathe it in, you breathe it in, you breathe it in. I'm smoking a cigarette.
Right.
Here.
But then tell us about how things have to be, and we got to go out there.
The planet.
Right. I mean, these pricks, it's just so obvious. DiCaprio, who I like a lot of his movies, and I bet he's really sincere and really passionate about his causes. I'm sure he's a good guy, but it's he was making that movie, The Revenant. He was flying back and forth. He didn't want to be hanging out in the Arctic, wherever the hell they were in Alaska. He was flying on a G650 to get back to Party Town and go back and back. I mean, that's not good, because you're buying some carbon credits. I mean, it's just these people are ridiculous, and they're not. They've ruined the medium.
Next topic.
Hope they all had Verizon.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Can you? Where's that guy? Didn't he get a? Oh no, that was the Jared from Subway.
So the Can You Hear Me guy went to Sprint.
Really?
Yeah. Next topic. Greenland. A lot of things coming out about Greenland recently. President Donald Trump has turned on the heat. He wants Greenland, and he wants it bad.
Interesting.
What are your thoughts about Greenland? I have my thoughts, but what are your thoughts? What's going on outside your apartment? Is there like a fire?
It's New York. There's a
Is
fire.
there a fire outside?
Yeah, it just passed. I think it's done.
I think it's done. Thoughts on Greenland?
Yes, I do have thoughts on Greenland. I think so. Greenland has geographical value for us, right, in what we're doing, and it's interesting, people, because we've got a president right now that looks at the world in terms of market share. Right, we've got this tripolar situation, us and China. Europe is screwed, and you look at what he's doing in South America, and he says, "Okay, China's over there. We're going to control over here. Europe, you're screwed." And so you look at Greenland. You can talk about the Arctic Circle and everything like that. The control over there, the radar arc with Scotland and the base over there with the nukes. But he's saying it's that's in our territory, and it makes sense. Denmark doesn't really have anything strategic going on there. It's certainly more strategic for us, and there's a lot of minerals there.
So, France today said that it will join Germany and France together. Will send troops to defend Greenland.
Great, yeah. It's ridiculous.
What troops are they sending? Shouldn't they be more concerned about Russia and Putin to defend Greenland from the United States?
They're so annoying. Sorry. There's Europe is screwed. Europe is done right now. Europe has been overrun by illegals, and right now Trump is looking at the world differently, and he's saying we're going to control our hemisphere, and China will control theirs, and Europe, have at it. You won't let us find a solution for this, thing in Ukraine. So Europe's got some trouble.
Europe's got a lot of trouble. But here's my thought on Greenland. I think that Trump is not going to take anything. I think this is all a negotiation tactic. I think he wants Europe to pay us to go to Greenland to protect it. We need Greenland. Okay, we need Greenland. They need us to have Greenland because we need it to protect ourselves. We need it to protect Europe. If we have Greenland, we can watch over Russia and Russia's moves.
Well, it's the Arctic operating system right there with the radar. It's a big deal. It's so. But on that arc for radar, that's a big deal for us to be able to detect what's happening with Russia.
Right. So it behooves Europe to give us access to Greenland, not only for defensive purposes, but for offensive purposes too. Now, yes, Greenland has all the rare earths and everything, and we know that China's paying somebody. So the question is Europe taking kickbacks and money from China to let them into Greenland and mine rare earths?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You think that's what's happening?
I mean, look, we already have what is it? The Pituffik space base is on Greenland, and that's the most important piece of Greenland, and we control it. So we already really have, for all intents and purposes, we already really have control there of the territory. So I mean, it's not Denmark isn't real, like we have personnel on the ground there. We have command down there. It's not for all intents and purposes. We already control the place.
Right. I think this is more to keep China out.
I agree with you. I think that because he brings this up at different times. He brings. You look at what's happening with Venezuela and South America now, right? And that's a big deal. So far, it's going well with that whole thing. And you saw the Colombia president, now there's stuff in Iran. Things are shaping up here. There's scenarios here on these trajectories. And then he brings up Greenland out of nowhere, which I think I think he's really far. I think like a guy like Macron or this Keir Starmer, who I saw today has lower approval ratings than Hitler did in Nazi Germany after they lost World War II. These people they're not on the level. They don't understand. Trump is out here, the way I put it, he's out here fighting for market share. China's been fighting for market share. Greenland is, I agree with what you're saying. I think he brings it up at opportune times to get everybody nuts. It certainly geopolitically, there's a rationale to why he wants to establish control over it. But like I said, for all intents and purposes, we pretty much control it now. I don't think Macron is sending troops to Greenland.
Macron does a lot of stupid things. I wouldn't.
He does. He does.
Sends a couple troops over there where it's
He
cold.
does.
It's cold in Greenland.
Yes, it is cold.
It's very cold.
It's 51 degrees here today.
It was still cold and gloomy. Okay, let's. Here's the topic, and it goes about the whole Iran stuff and potentially going to war with Iran. Normally, when there's something going on in the world where we're about to attack somebody or do something or something's going to happen, the pizza deliveries and pizza restaurants in Washington D.C., the activities.
Oh yeah,
we've talked about this a couple times.
The pizza radar, yeah.
So today it's spiked. Today,
I saw.
Wednesday, January 14th, it spiked.
Yeah, but it spiked a couple times since Venezuela, so it's starting to look like, hey, they're busy at the Pentagon. They got to eat.
Correct. However, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth.
By the way, I like that it's Secretary of War.
So do I. Here's what he had to say about it. And it's funny that he's actually talking about this. That means that they know about it, and he does. I'm aware of that account. I hadn't thought of just going to the cafeteria. I've thought of just ordering lots of pizza on random nights just to throw everyone off.
That's funny.
Some Friday night when you see a bunch of Domino's orders, it might just be me on an app throwing the whole system off.
That's funny.
So we keep everyone off balance.
I think he's really found his legs. What's his name? Hegseth. Yeah, I think he's found.
He knows what's going on. That's what I like about the Trump administration is they're in tune with what's going on.
Well,
they're able to not manipulate, but like mess around with it. So like if he sees the pizza spiking, he kind of knows what's going on. So he'll
look,
it's the same thing.
Right. And there's nobody like if you compare that to like the luggage thief in the Biden administration. The one, like, for example, Rubio has really impressed me this time around. Like, out of all of them, Rubio has really impressed me because he so far, like in the first administration, it was like every other week there was somebody that was dropping out, couldn't handle it, didn't like it, was writing a book. And you saw one thing with Susie Wiles. She had like that Vanity Fair interview a couple weeks ago, but that never really got such big legs. Hegseth seems to be, and they've kind of pushed what's his name to the side, Lutnick. They've kind of pushed Lutnick to the side, I think. Other than that, he looks to have like his squad right now that's rolling with him. I mean, we're a year in, and there hasn't been any real, kind of that inner drama like in the first go round.
Yeah, and I think you see a lot of people really sticking by him, sticking together with him. But yeah, the pizza thing is I
like that pizza thing. It's smart. Whoever came up with that account was smart.
Yeah. You got time for one more?
Rudy, I'm here for you. Come on.
Your old friend.
You like my Sergio Tacchini or not? You made a comment
about
it.
I like your Sergio Tacchini. It reminds me of back in the day.
Come on.
Your old pal.
Yeah, my old pal. Who?
Another
George?
old pal. Former mayor Eric Adams.
Bro, he's been great since he left the mayor. The Gracie Mansion. You talking about today on the airplane?
No. I'm talking about his meme coin.
He's gonna the meme coin to defeat anti-Semitism.
So he released, and actually I was driving that day and I heard him with Borderolo on the Fox Business talking about this, and I was like, what the hell is he talking about? Because I caught it like in the middle, and he was talking about something called the NYC Coin. So I'm like, oh, okay, he's trying to raise money for New York for some cockamamie thing. I don't know why. He's mayor. He just lost the election. Like, go figure something else. But I'm thinking, okay, he teamed up with some crypto guys, and they're doing NYC Coin. who better to do NYC Coin than the former mayor, Eric Adams, who was trying to get crypto to New York for a while. Remember, he had that
was.
thing, but he kept losing it to Miami because, tax reasons, and Miami's just the better place. So on Monday, hours after announcing his NYC Coin at a press conference in Times Square, I didn't even know he had a press conference about this.
Neither did I.
Former New York City Mayor Eric Adams launched his cryptocurrency. The purpose of the coin was unclear. It really was. It was very vague.
I thought it was to defeat anti-Semitism.
It was to combat anti-Semitism.
He's committed to that.
But investors bought it up anyway, briefly sending its market cap to $600 million. Great. But then it crashed.
I got in and out early.
Really? You bought it? Everybody called it a rug pull.
Come on. You know what? If you're fucking investing into one of these things and you're not on the pulling side, you deserve to have the rug pulled from you. I don't give a shit.
You might as well just donate money to stop anti-Semitism. Like, why would you buy a coin? Like, you think you're going to make money off of the NYC coin that's stopping anti-Semitism? Like, how do you think you're making money off of that?
Look, on a lot of these pump and dump things, like in the old fashioned sense of it, like people, there's criminal here by now with these meme. I mean, where's Fart Coin trading right now? Let's look this up.
Fart Coin's probably doing better than
Fart Coin. I think last time, Fart Coin here, I'll tell you right now, Fart Coin had Fart Coin has, okay, it's down 4%. It's got $396 million market cap, Fart Coin. Look, the Trump coin still has a $5.6 billion market cap. Look, at this point, I just don't really have any kind of sympathy for anybody. Like, why are you buying the anti-Semitism New York Power Eric Adams coin? Like, what's the value?
So here's the thing,
or the utility. How do you use it to defeat anti-Semitism?
Most when you're a legitimate investor in cryptocurrency, you look and you see what's the function of the coin, like what's the blockchain, like, and you anticipate this is going to be used and I'm going to make money off of it. The coin is going to go up because there's something of value that the coin is doing.
What's Fart Coin going to be used for?
A store of farts. I don't know. It's a meme coin, but these meme coins are ridiculous. You have Ethereum that's actually legitimate. You have Bitcoin that's legitimate. You got Litecoin that's legitimate. You have all these other coins.
How's our other one doing? I haven't looked at it in a minute.
XRP?
Yeah.
XRP is doing okay, but XRP, it's
Don't
a
tell me it's back. No, XRP, yeah, XRP.
But if you're investing in an NYC coin, the whole premise is to combat anti-Semitism. Don't expect to get rich. Just donate money. Buy the coin knowing that you're donating money to combat anti-Semitism.
Meanwhile, he got on a plane. And
then he got on a plane right away to go to Dubai.
Was he leaving or is he coming back?
No, he was leaving. This happened on Monday. Monday he was in Times Square. Yesterday he was on the plane.
He was somewhere today, I think, or yesterday, where a woman wanted to hit him, and he said he's going to show her the Brooklyn. You didn't see this?
I did. She was a raging libetard, I read.
But if you combine the rug pull, which all power to him. Again, if this guy is crafty enough to get, how much did he make? Like $5 million?
We don't know how much he made.
It went up to $600 million?
Yeah.
Jesus. So look, I'm a dummy. I should have done this. Like,
everybody should have done it. Yeah, of course.
There are people out there that'll give money to his anti-Semitic coin. He's a smart guy. But the point is, did he then get on a plane after he pulled the rug and left? Was she an angry investor, this girl?
No, I think she was just angry. Look, most libertards.
Maybe she was an anti-Semite.
Maybe she was anti-Semite. Most libertards are anti-Semitic.
I tell you something. I like him more and more since he left office. Did you see? I like what he said about your pal. What's her name? The one that's running Tenant Affairs.
Oh, C.
Breyer.
Yeah.
He had a great comment about her.
What did he say?
He said this is lunatic think. He said this type of thinking, her rant about could only come from a privileged situation because it's so irrational. You know what home ownership means to black, brown, white. You know everything. He said this only comes from totally irrational thinking. Basically, and he said she should shut the fuck up. He's getting more aggressive, which I like.
Aggressive's good.
He said to this, and the girl had one of those Donald Duck masks, who was telling him to go fuck himself. But he said something to her like, "I'm going to show you the Brooklyn."
Yeah, I want to see.
He said, "I'm out of the mayor. I'm not in the mayor." He's in good shape, and he's a vegan.
He could take her. He's got to be careful, though. He's got to be careful.
He can afford lawyers now.
Well, after this NYC coin, he could afford a lot of things.
I mean, $600 million. I read that it was going to defeat anti-Semitism.
The only thing it defeated was some poor kid who bought the NYC coin.
I don't get why people like. What's keeping fart coin going?
I don't know. But
is there an Iran coin, or is there a Courtney B. Good coin? Is there a Mark Ruffalo? We should do a Mark Ruffalo coin.
I think there should be an Iran coin. An Iran coin that makes sense. You invest the money. You remember, like the Libra? Was it Libra? The Libra coin from Argentina?
Yeah.
That whole thing.
Yeah. But what about
who's supposed to help these people? But
what about a Mark Ruffalo coin?
Mark Ruffalo coin is the
we can call it the Ruffalo.
Yeah, the Ruffalo. He needs help. I mean, okay.
You wouldn't like to see him when he's angry.
All right. Thank you very much, everybody, for listening to another episode of Citizen Outbreak. Again, tell your friends to follow us, watch us, like us, Apple, Spotify, citizenoutbreak.com.
Send cash.
YouTube. Send cash. Maybe we should do a Citizen Outbreak coin.
Yes.
And then pull it.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to do it just to pull it.
The money will go towards...
Has anybody raised it announcing that they intend to pull it?
No.
Doesn't that... Wait, but that also makes sense because everybody would then want to get out. You could tell them, get in early because we're going to pull it.
We're going to pull it. We're just not going to tell you when it's going to pull.
Yeah, right. So get in really early.
Over here, we can pull it over here.
Right, exactly. I think we should...
decide.
We can do it. We can announce the pull before, with it.
There's an alarm clock, and once it hits, it's like musical chairs. Boom! We pulled it. All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Pull my finger. Okay.
Hopefully, we'll be back next week, unless something happens with Iran. Okay, I don't know. All right. Thank you very much.